Hello, it's Who Am I Wednesday, and that title or that hashtag doesn't exactly imply what you think it may imply. Today, what I really want to talk about is healing and pain. So, 4 years ago, when I started my business, I was certain that my business was going to be focused all on the value of healing, mostly emotional healing, physical healing, spiritual healing. And at that time, I didn't know what that was going to look like. But over the years, little by little, things have fallen into place. And I'm grateful to say that today, when I talk about healing and pain, and I talk about being energy rich, it's all in alignment with everything I'm doing in my business, everything I'm doing outside of my business, and how I'm serving my clients. So those of you who are coming in, hello and assalamu alaikum, and share this out with your friends. This is going to be a lot longer live than I usually do. I usually pop in for about 8 to 10 minutes, but I have a lot on my mind today to share. And if you can hang around live, that's awesome. If you have to watch it later on the replay, that's cool. But make sure that you share this with somebody. Hey, Jessica, salam. So, for those of you who are already my friends, you probably know what I'm up to in the world. I'm a transformational coach. I help women to become influencers and positively impact the world. Well, here's the thing, right? I've met a lot of people over these 4 years, like Jessica and Victoria, salam alaikum. And, these people, these women that I've met and men, have really positively impacted me. I've recently met some people, Farrah Hutchinson, and she told me about this show called Queen Sugar. And, one of the things I talk about is binge watching, and I a little bit demonize it. And I have to say that this is a great show. And in the span of about 5 days, I've watched 13 episodes of it. And that's as close to binge watching as I'll probably ever get. But the great thing about this show is I realize that it hits on a lot of heavy topics. We as humanity have a lot of healing to do. In this country, we have a lot of healing to do. In this world, we have a lot of healing to do. And the way this show interweaves all those things that we need to heal surrounding our emotional intelligence, our self-nurturing and everything is really masterful. So I got to, wonder. Oh, it's on the OWN network. It's like four seasons. I've only watched the first season. Anyway, yeah, you can look it up. I think it's available on Amazon and a lot of places, iTunes. So the way that she interweaves it into the regular lives, I thought, well, let me just look up and find out a little bit about these actors, because I don't really know the actors too well. And so when I looked up one of the the actors, I think Kofi, the name of the series is called Queen Sugar. And so there was an article saying how they didn't realize the gravity of just taking this job to be an actor in the show, how it would affect them as far as their self-development, their self-nurturing, their emotional development, and their mental health. And I thought, yeah, you see, we set out to do one thing, like they just went to work. They're actors. How hard can it be? You just show up, you act in a series, you get paid. It's not that simple. And as entrepreneurs, anyone who's been an entrepreneur, even if you're doing it like on the side with your full-time job, you know what I'm talking about. You sign up because you have this great passion and you want to help people in the world, right? And then you realize that you have to stand by your values and stand up for your values. And you don't realize the gravity and the weight that it takes on you as a whole, mostly on your soul. You have to learn how to nurture it. You have to up-level your emotional intelligence. You have to learn how to shift it. And this is why being energy rich and making energy rich choices matter. Because when you're an entrepreneur, whether or not you like it, you become an influencer. You are influencing lives, you're changing lives. And that takes a toll on you. And I'm happy to say that after all these years, hello Wendy, and I saw Sharina come in as well, I've finally gotten all my ducks in a row. Not to be confused with who I am. I'll get to the Who I Am Wednesday theme in a minute. And so what that means is I feel like all human beings, we're hurting, right? And we have things that we need to heal within ourselves because, people can't see each other because they can't bear to look themselves in the mirror. They can't smile at themselves. So how are they going to smile at anybody else? It's difficult to be kind if someone looks different from you because now that person's become a target for them, right? Oh, I hate myself. I'm going to hate that person because it's acceptable to hate that type of person, right? And that is not about who they're targeting. It's about their own pain. And I'm so passionate about that I've joined the round table. And this is a group of young people who are traveling around the world. And we have an event this Saturday in London called Awake Conscious Leader. Because whether you like it or not, if you're an entrepreneur and you become an influencer, you're going to have to be a conscious leader. And this particular event that I'm part of helps you to up-level your emotional intelligence, heal your soul, and meditate on who you really are, how you're showing up in the world. So if you're in London or thereabouts, I invite you to join. And Sharina, if you're still here, drop the link for that event. Now, if you're not in London, I've got something, or even if you are in London, I've got something coming up that starts on Monday. It's called Being Energy Rich. It's a 5-day challenge where over a course of 5 days, I help you to seamlessly weave in, just like they have done in Sugar Queen, weave in ways to self-nurture, ways to up-level your emotional intelligence, and ways to protect your mental health so that you can continue on your path of enriching other lives and standing in your value system. Now, I still haven't addressed the Who Are You, Who Am I Wednesday hashtag, so I'm getting to that. Bear with me. Like I said, this is not going to be a 10-minute live today. I've got a lot on my mind. Hello, Caroline. So this 5-day challenge is great. And we all know we need a little burst of energy, a little something to get us going, right? And feeling good again. And just kind of like when you go to those 1-day or 2-day conferences, kind of like when you go to those retreats, whether it's 3 days or 5 days or a week, right? But there's nothing like having a community of people and someone who will stand by you and help you to seamlessly integrate over time and make it part of your practices. So now, let me come to the title. Hashtag Who Am I Wednesday? You're not your job. You're not the title you give yourself. You're not a mom, you're not a dad. You are a soul that temporarily is in a body that has a purpose in this world. Our whole objective in being here is to sort out what that purpose is. The only way we can do that is to heal ourselves, to look within, to meditate on who we really are. This actually, in my Facebook group, is a meditation that I do every Wednesday. But because I've told my group I'm doing these lives on my personal timeline and sharing them into my group, I'm not going to do that meditation here. There's two ways you can enjoy the meditation. You're either in London and you're going to attend the event on Saturday, or you join my Facebook challenge next week. But I'm not doing a meditation today. Today we're going to talk about it. So, who you really are and how you're showing up in the world. You know, yesterday I talked about pretending and how people have one perception of me and they don't know who I really am. And that surprised me because I thought I'm not a pretentious person. I don't, I think I'm pretty, Jessica, you know me personally, Donna, I think we've met in person. No, we haven't met in person, we met in Zoom. But, for the most part, people who have met me are like, you are exactly who you are on YouTube. You are who exactly you are in your lives or whatever. But apparently we aren't who we appear to be, no matter how genuine or authentic we think we are. Because who we really are is the vibration that we are radiating. Think about that for a minute. I don't know if I told you the story of the road rage that happened recently. I'm always sharing stories of road rage because as nice and friendly as I may appear, remember what I was telling you about people love to target people when they hate themselves and when they have lots of pain? There's nothing better to target than someone who looks like they're happy, right? Oh, they're so happy. Let me see if I can ruin their day. Or maybe it's because I'm wearing a hijab, or maybe because I'm a woman, or maybe because I have brown skin. Who knows? But whatever it is, they have something within them that hurts, and it hurts so much that they have to radiate out hate. They have to radiate out their pain. So yeah, I experience a lot of road rage. I don't know why. So I'm driving back from back to my home on a long hour trip, right? Many hours. And this guy shouts at me, "You need to slow the fuck down." And I just laughed because who am I? I am love. Who am I? I'm positivity. Who am I? I'm the healing that you wish that you had. I am the smile in the mirror that you didn't see this morning. I am the self-nurturing that you so very deeply need. I am the emotional intelligence that you weren't taught, that you haven't learned. So, I want you to meditate today on Who Am I Wednesday? Who are you? Those of you who are here live, tell me, who are you? Do you know? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're showing up as in the world? Hello, Sister Jenna. Thank you for joining. Who are you? Are you radiating love? Are you radiating peace? Are you living in your purpose? Do you make choices that are energy rich? Do you actively work on your healing and squeezing out your pain a little bit at a time, and with every choice, with every interaction? Who are you? This is the defining detail of what happens when you're an entrepreneur. This is the defining detail of what happens when you, whether you like it or not, become an influencer. You are influencing someone every single time you interact with another human being. I love that, Jessica. That's beautiful. Every single time. When I met Jessica, beautiful interaction we had. You know, my children don't like everybody as loving as they are, but they liked Jessica. In fact, believe it or not, I'm scheduling a play date for my kids with Jessica. How crazy is that? So, you know, but that is a reflection of who she is. She just said, I'm the kingdom of God. The Christness within me is within all, right? So she exudes love, peace, and a high level of spirituality, right? And this is, you know, I'm not a marketing guru. Hey, Alexis, I don't do any of that stuff. But what I do know is when you know who you are and you know what your values are and you know what you stand for, that's when you can make a positive impact on the world. That's when you can live, hey, beautiful. Alexis is another one of those people. Even before we met face to face, as she was traveling around the world, we were interacting in private messages, and she just radiates positivity. She just radiates love. She just, you know, and when you meet her in person, it's like, of course, you have to love her. You have to embrace her. So in your core, you have a responsibility to yourself to up-level your self-nurturing practices. And part of that self-nurturing is your, absolutely, is your emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is not some formula. I can tell you as a mom of 6, it is not a formula. I have 6 different personalities, plus the husband, plus myself that I'm dealing with. And what it looks like for one person is not what it looks like for somebody else. And what it looks like for me as a mom who's helping that process and who's helping that evolution for these personalities as they evolve and grow and get older and have experiences in the world, as they're in the car with me when I'm getting run off the road by rednecks, when they're in the car with me, when I'm getting run off the road by, you know, just rich white women in Cadillacs that think, oh, she's gonna move because I've got a bigger vehicle and she's black. They are experiencing that with me. And the way I navigate that situation and their understanding in the car, right? My teenage son was in the front seat. He's like, why don't you have him run off the road? And I said, you know what? He's trying to run me off the road. What I'm gonna do is keep us safe. The kids in the back, they thought, Walaikum salam, Nalima, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. You know, they had a different response. One thought, oh, Mom, you're driving a little bit faster. That's kind of cool. One thought, why is that man yelling at you and cussing at you? And one thought, are we there yet? Right? Meanwhile, I have to focus on the road. I have to focus on keeping safe. I have to make sure that he's not going crazy, you know, or doing something stupid. Yeah, but here's the thing. You know, it's like everywhere you go, there are these things. You know, I've experienced all kinds of wonderful experiences. And you know what I think? For me, staying energy rich, the question that comes up for who I am is, what's the lesson in this? Why am I being gifted this opportunity? What can I gain here? And I think to myself, I know. I think to myself, maybe not while I'm driving, maybe not during the experience, but of course when I'm in my safe space, when I'm meditating before I pray or whatever I'm doing, I allow Allah, and that's just Arabic for God, don't get scared, to open my heart and open my mind and pour the lesson in. This is being energy rich. This is self-nurturing. This helps me to expand. And this stays in alignment with my values. I could quite easily choose not to heal and stay in that pain. And why is it this always happens to me? But I choose to heal, and that healing is self-nurturing. I want to say so much more here, but I think you understand what I'm saying. And for those of you that this resonates with, and this sounds like something you really need, I invite you to join my Facebook group where I'm doing my challenge next week on being energy rich. Because there's so many opportunities to just be poor and painful. But when you have an opportunity to do so much more and to heal and to not let life literally kill you with your emotions taking over and giving you not only mental pain but physical pain, because that's what happens over the span of life. We store it in our organs, we store it in our joints, and we have these ailments that sometimes are not diagnosed, and when they finally are, they come up as cancer, right, Victoria? And I know this does align with your values. And then when we think back, we understand where the cancer came from. It wasn't because the environment's toxic, it's because we've created a toxic environment within our bodies. So again, hello Aida, I invite you to join my group and see what it looks like to be energy rich just for 5 days. Invite your friends if you think they could use this healing. And then after the 5 days is over, let's see what we can do to maintain that and interweave that into our lives so that we can be whole again as humanity, so that we can be the smile that someone didn't see in their mirror this morning, so that we can be the love that they're not recycling within themselves, so that we can be the peace and the harmony that this earth so deeply needs. I appreciate you who have been listening live this entire time, and I appreciate you who are watching the replay. Have an amazing day. See you tomorrow.